Looking for the ultimate game night? Chumba Casino brings all the fun and excitement of a night out straight to your screen whenever you want it. Play hundreds of thrilling games instantly. No downloads, no delays. Just launch from your browser and dive right in. From spinning slots and playing blackjack to instant scratch-tile cards or joining live social tables, there's always something new to explore. Signing up takes just seconds and you'll unlock a free welcome bonus plus daily login bonuses to keep the fun going every time you play. Play for pure entertainment or for a chance to score some serious prizes anytime, anywhere. And here's the best part. No purchase required to join or play. So what are you waiting for? Make tonight one to remember. Head to ChumbaCasino.com and bring the fun home. Let's Chumba. Sponsored by VGW Group. No purchase necessary. See terms at ChumbaCasino.com. Must be over 21 and present in a state where it's legal to play.
All right, man, welcome back to The Run with me, Manny Wilson. I'm still here with my special guest, Travis Hicks. I mean, he's here all the time, so how special can I say it is? But Travis, man, look, so let's talk about some of these teams that's true contenders. It's week 5 in the NFL. Some of these teams are looking good. Some of these teams are not looking bad. So it's time we kind of make a prediction that's way too soon. And since it's so early in the season. So first team right now, man, I just want to throw them out there. If they're like a true contender or not, because they're 4-1. They've been beating some teams. They got a quarterback who's not even a starter, who's playing pretty good. Is the 49ers like true contenders or what?
No. Mac Jones is playing amazing, and I like Mac Jones. I'm happy he's playing better, but they're not. 49ers are a team that will get there. Like I saw a stat where they get to the NFC title game like every other year, but they don't win. I don't trust them. I don't think they can beat the Rams, Eagles, or Lions in the playoff game. Yeah,
you're not wrong. And also, too, one of the things that needs to be considered with the San Francisco 49ers is, yeah, I get it. These wins look nice. And any win in the NFL is tough. Granted, if my team was winning like this, I would be yapping and stuff, too. But one thing you got to take into consideration is the 49ers arguably have the easiest schedule in the NFL. Without a doubt. Without a single doubt. They're not playing that many tough teams. I think they only got maybe like 2 or 3 playoff teams from last year, if that. So this is like, they should be winning a lot of these games. And I know they have some injuries on their side on both sides of the ball, truthfully. But, I don't think 49ers haven't really shown me anything where I'm convinced that they are like elite contenders so far in this season. So I'm glad we can kind of agree on that part.
Oh, yeah, because and I know I just said they can't beat the Rams in a playoff game. They did beat the Rams about, I believe it was last Thursday. And that was a good win, but in the playoffs, I don't see them beating the Rams or Eagles or Lions or I just feel like the Mac Jones magic's going to run out. But he is playing good, so shout out to him. He's stepped in for Brock Purdy.
Definitely. He definitely doing his thing, so I ain't mad at that either. So another team, are they contenders or what? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, are they contenders? I mean, they got the record to look like contenders. They got someone who we could possibly even argue is an MVP candidate.
I'm going to say yes. The reason why, Baker Mayfield is that guy. And Baker Mayfield shows time in and time out that he is that guy. And I think he's someone who's going to get them to the playoffs like he did the last 2 years. They ran into, obviously, us, and they ran into the Eagles. When you look at their playoff, resume over the last few years. But Baker is someone who can get them to the NFC title game. I'm not going to say they're a Super Bowl contender, but there's someone, I wouldn't be shocked if the Buccaneers got to an NFC championship game because Baker's been good, especially when they get Mike Evans back. That's a lethal offense. And Mike Evans, someone whose longevity doesn't get talked about. To get 1,000 yards receiving every single year and be this good when you've obviously played with the GOAT Brady, but with Jameis Winston, and you still get it now with Baker. And Baker's really, talking about Baker, he's turned his career around. This was a guy who's hopping from team to team, and this is random, but I'm going to say this. Baker Mayfield is really like the Chauncey Billups of the NFL as far as the Pistons version. Because Baker was somebody who, top guy, talked about draft pick, then got moved around and finally found that team, and now you're seeing his potential.
I ain't mad at that. And I think with the way Baker Mayfield is playing, it's hard not to consider this, this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team as a true threat. And honestly, I'll be 100% honest. I hate that Baker Mayfield landed in the NFC South. Why couldn't he have been somewhere else in a different division? Because this guy is consistently going to be a problem for my Atlanta Falcons. And at this point, it's evident. I've accepted it. I've made peace with it. But he's elite. And you got to at some point start considering Baker Mayfield as an MVP candidate because he's been playing so great. Not only the last few years, but coming into this season, he had 3 comeback wins in the first 3 game-winning drives in the first 3 games of the NFL season. So, things like this is just crazy from a quarterback. And, Baker Mayfield, he got his team winning. He pulling out close games. He got game-winning drives. He getting his receivers touches. He got the rookies shining. Like, hey, man, I have nothing bad to say about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm a little afraid being a team that's in the NFC South, but I would be foolish to say that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers aren't true contenders in the NFC right now. So there's another team here. I'm going to throw some curveballs at you because some of these teams, it's still early, so we don't know exactly what we're getting right now. The Minnesota Vikings, are they contenders or what?
I love J.J. McCarthy. I think he's amazing. Justin Jefferson's arguably the best receiver in the league. A lot of talent on that team. Addison, you still got Dalvin Cook. But no, they're not contenders. They're not better than us, the Lions, and they're not better than the Packers. So there's already 2 teams in the division. Really, them and the Bears could be a game. So I'm going to say no, just because they're in the toughest division in football. But JJ has a bright future, in my opinion, when he gets fully healthy. Yeah. Carson Wentz has done a decent job, but they're not contenders.
Wow. Okay. All right. So I don't disagree with you. I think it's still too early to tell, though. This is what makes it tough because it's only been 5 games so far, so it's still a little too early to tell. Who's to say Carson Wentz don't heat up? Who's to say the offense just doesn't heat up in general? Because one thing you got to remember with the Vikings, and I know they struggle sometimes on both ends of the ball, but they do have a solid defense, and that's the part where it's like I can't completely eliminate them from the contenders conversation, but through week 5, I think it is fair to say that they're not true contenders as of right now. Is there any teams in the AFC that you think are maybe a true contender or that just has the hype but not really going to live up to it?
So you're saying is there a team that I do think is a contender?
In the NFC, yeah.
Oh, in the NFC? Oh, I'm going to go with my team, the Lions, for sure.
Okay, well, yeah, y'all like, no, that's cool. That's cool.
Oh, actually, I'll give you one who I actually think is a contender outside of obviously hometown bias. I'm going to say the Rams. And the reason why I'm saying the Rams, Stafford is still vintage Stafford. I don't care what nobody says. If you're a real Detroiter, Stafford is one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play. I'm not saying he's the GOAT or top 10. He just has one of the greatest arms we've seen. And you see when he has a team around him, he's not only won a Super Bowl, but this man has given Kupp one of the greatest receiving seasons we've ever seen.
Yeah.
Calvin, one of the greatest receiving seasons. Now he's doing with Puka. Stafford is still that guy. He's still doing the sidearm. I'm not doing it right, but you know what I mean? He's doing the sidearm all down the field. And the Rams are a team, to be honest, that can beat the Eagles in a playoff game and can beat the Lions. I'm not saying they will, but those are teams that are capable. So the Rams in Sean McVay's system, they're a team that can easily win a Super Bowl if everything goes right and they stay healthy.
Damn, that's a good team, and that's a good point there. And I'm on your side actually on this. I want to disagree with you so bad. I'm waiting until we find a team that I disagree with you on. But I think that's going to be in the AFC. But for the Rams, I completely agree, man, because Stafford has proved that he's still elite. And as long as Stafford is on that Rams team, I think they have a big shot at getting to the playoffs and honestly knocking somebody out of the playoffs too. So couldn't agree more on that. But let's move over to the AFC. So AFC is interesting because it's kind of a lot of new teams. All the teams that we thought were going to be really good are really bad so far through the first 5 weeks of football. So I'm going to try and throw a curveball here. Do you think the Baltimore Ravens are still contenders through week 5?
Lamar Jackson's my fantasy quarterback. But no, they're not contenders. The window is closed. I'm going to say this. I think the window even actually, I'm not going to say I don't think the window of winning a Super Bowl is closed because Lamar's amazing. But this year, they're not contenders. Derrick Henry can't hold on to he's built like LeBron. He can't hold on to the ball, which is insane. And Lamar Jackson, sometimes he'll look like MVP and other times he'll look like James Harden in the playoffs. So they're not contenders, especially with his injury.
Oh, man. All right. So I agree with you to an extent. Man, the Ravens we've seen have looked garbage. This version of Lamar Jackson, I don't know who the hell this man is, bro. This is not the Lamar Jackson who I will vouch for every single day because I have nothing good to say about what I've seen from Lamar Jackson so far this season. Derrick Henry, dog. Oh my God. It's so impressive what Derrick Henry is doing at age 31. I believe he is, or in his 30s. But dog, you got to hold on to the ball, man. This is like 2 games or possible game-winning drives where he fumbled the ball and let it go. So he hasn't been playing good. The defense has been getting just dogged walked, man. The defense has been getting just man. I'm trying to stay appropriate, but the defense has been getting dogged. I'm gonna just say it as simple as that. So this Ravens team, I don't have a lot of confidence in them right now through week 5, but I still say they are contenders. And the reason I say they contenders is because they have Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. So the same reasons I'm disappointed in the Ravens right now is kind of the same reasons I still want to give them the leeway to say they're contenders, even though they play like trash so far through week 5.
Let me ask you this. One, I love you, Manny, but you're wrong. Is he gonna come up in a big game though? When is Lamar gonna win a big game? Even
bro, he
I
got
know he got hurt in the Chiefs game, but like he's had plenty of times. You would be honest, the best chance he had of winning a Super Bowl was the 23-24 year when they lost 17-10 against the Chiefs in the AFC title game at home. I'm not saying Lamar won't win a Super Bowl, but I really think that was his best chance because there's one man I'm going to bring up why I don't think he will, but I'll save that.
Pat Mahomes, bro. Are you going to bring up Pat Mahomes? Well, and I get it. I get it. He can't beat Pat Mahomes in the playoffs. He can't beat him in the playoffs. I get it. Trust me. I get it. Every time I cheer for Lamar Jackson to win in the playoffs whenever he plays Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen, and I think that year was the crucial year he could have did. The 22-23 year was that year he should have done it, but he can't beat him. He can't beat him, and neither can Josh Allen. Like, as much as I like both of those guys, for some reason they cannot beat Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Only guy who can is Joe Burrow.
I'll be honest. Hey, Mahomes got his lick back, though, the following year in the AFC title game in 23.
He did.
I'm going to say this. They are a contender, the Chiefs. The Chiefs, I thought Mahomes was washed. I'll be honest. Shout out our mentor, Rob Parker. Love Rob. Also just got inducted to the Hall of Fame at his thing.
Yes, sir.
Rob said Mahomes was Daniel Jones. And I was like, Rob,
right,
that is asinine.
Rob, see, come on, Rob.
But look at the numbers. And I love
come on, Rob.
Look at the numbers. Like Mahomes, was really bad last year. Then the year before, when they won the Super Bowl, his numbers were okay. But what I saw in that Ravens game reminded me of big games, and they're getting Rashee Rice. I think the Chiefs. I didn't think this at the beginning of the year, but I think they're going to find a way to win the AFC once again.
All right.
As amazing as Josh Allen is, I think he's going to lose to Mahomes once again.
All right, Travis, come on, man. I can't let you go with that, man. They had so far this season and through week 5, they had the one really good game, and it was against a just awful Baltimore Ravens team. Baltimore Ravens defense was not clicking at all. They already have some injuries on the defense as well, which doesn't help to their case of being strong on that defensive side. But when they played Pat Mahomes, he lit them up. And I got Pat Mahomes as a fantasy quarterback, so I was happy about that part. But watching that game, it was clear that was not the Ravens team that we're all used to seeing, especially from the offensive side of the ball as well, because no Lamar Jackson. So, that game kind of just, it just died down early. And then you know how it goes too when the offense can't put any pressure on the opposing team's defense. Like it's a weird thing, and I always thought it was weird that people be like, oh, Lamar Jackson versus Patrick Mahomes, when the two never play against each other. But truthfully, that pressure adds to the element of being able to produce on the offensive end. So if you got Lamar Jackson getting his team in great scoring positions, getting touchdowns, putting up numbers, that puts pressure on Pat Mahomes to get his offense downfield and also score. There was no pressure on Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs to have any of the offense go down and score. Obviously they did, but the pressure just makes it completely different. And we've known, Pat Mahomes can deal with the pressure, but in an exhibition game, it's hard to compare and say the Chiefs gonna be back and the Chiefs is gonna do this when they played against a sorry Baltimore Ravens team early on in the season.
The one thing, Manny, I got to be real, I seen the light. I didn't see it at the beginning of the season, but I seen the light. Like Mahomes, we said this last year. Obviously, they lost the Super Bowl, but they still made it. The year before, when they won back-to-back Super Bowls, it was like, oh, this is the year Allen's going to get him. I don't think they can beat him in the postseason. I really don't. times the charm, but Josh Allen's 0-4 versus Mahomes in the postseason.
Yeah, it's sick, man. It's sick. Everybody struggle against him in the postseason, which is crazy. But I mean, man, look, you just never know, man. Our teams get hot sometimes, and I think maybe we see the case of, hey, the Ravens, they start off bad, and when Lamar Jackson comes back, maybe they get hot. Maybe they figure it out, like we see with. Like we seen with Joe Burrow every season that he's been playing, is they start off bad and then all of a sudden they hot and they in the playoffs. So maybe that same thing could be the case, but I'm not really completely sold on the Chiefs, man. I don't think the Chiefs really got it yet. I ain't really. I'm just not convinced. I haven't seen anything from them yet where I'm like, all right, the Chiefs is back. Like, yeah, they play good against a beat down Ravens team, but show me that against the Lions. Show me that against the Bills in the regular season. We gonna see. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just like I need to see more from the Kansas City Chiefs to be on their side of like, all right, they're actual contenders. Coming up this season through week 4. So
they play the Lions next up, so that'll be an interesting game.
I think they got 2. I think they got Jaguars first and then Lions.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. For like next week, they play Lions a Sunday night game.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep, I forgot they still played it. I'm thinking it's Monday, bro. I'm tweaking. Okay, so this brings me to another question. Is the Indianapolis Colts, are they contenders?
No. Daniel Jones got off to a great start. And I think Daniel Jones' run right now reminds me of, when we were kids, we used to see Jeremy Lin Sandy for like 12 games. That's what Daniel Jones. And it's amazing to see, but it's not going to last. Like,
bro, that's crazy.
They're not contenders. Jonathan Taylor is amazing. He's my fantasy running back. He did actually a really good job today. But no, they're not contenders. I don't think they can beat a healthy Ravens. I don't think they can beat the Chiefs, Bills.
That's a good football team.
I don't even think they can beat the Chargers in
That's a good football team.
But the Colts, the Colts are playing good though. So shout out Daniel Jones. He is putting up numbers, but I think come playoff time is going to be different. And also, I think their gas is going to run out at some point.
Wow, I'm shocked because I completely disagree. Man, I think that's a good football team over there in the Colts. It is early. And they're 4-1. They're beating teams. They look good. Anything can happen. They don't really have the history of, being dominant all through the course of the season. But I think this is a team, like, they're a solid football team. And Daniel Jones is completely different, bro. Daniel Jones is not New York Giants Daniel Jones. This Daniel Jones is a couple steps down from what we've seen with Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. I know it sounds ridiculous. I know it sounds crazy. But this Daniel Jones with the Colts, it's completely different. He's getting passes out accurately, on time, and he's taking care of the ball as he's doing all of that. And then not to mention, he got a great running back in Jonathan Taylor, too. So, like, this Daniel Jones and the Colts offense, I love what I'm seeing from them. The defense steps up big, too. But I think the Colts, man, is serious contenders right now. And I think they will be contenders down the line in the AFC. I think they can beat somebody in the playoffs and, make something happen. I ain't saying they're going to win a Super Bowl, but they can definitely eliminate a solid team in the playoffs in a wild card game or something like that. So I'm going with contenders, man.
Okay.
All right.
That's a good point, though. I like the points you made.
Yeah, it's still early. So this is where the fun is with this. So last team here, I'm going to go, and then unless you have some teams where you want to just throw them in and, we'll chop it up about them too. But the Denver Broncos, are they contenders or what?
Great win today, beating the Super Bowl champions. Broncos, I'm going to say no, but they can make the playoffs. I just don't know if they can beat the Chiefs in the playoffs, Bills, Ravens, or even another team in their division, the Chargers. But I do think Bo Nix is nice, and he's proven me wrong. I think they can get to the playoffs, but they're not a championship contender, no.
That's valid. And I actually very much agree. I think they're a good team. I think they'll have their ups and downs throughout the course of the season where they'll be playing really good and get a lot of hype. And then they'll probably have some slumps, too, throughout the course of the season. But I see them as a wild card team. Maybe they do win the first wild card game. Maybe they lose. But I don't think they're just yet at their peak. And I think there is a lot of room to improve with this Denver Broncos team. So, to me, not true contenders just yet so far throughout the season, but maybe that'll change as, the course of the season goes on. So, other than that, though, man, look, those are most of the teams I'm just, thinking about in terms of being contenders or if they're, still need some work or whatever the case is. So, Other than that, Travis, man, let the people know where they can find you, where they can keep up with your work and all kind of things like that as well.
Hey, appreciate you, man. I want to say it's always amazing being on the podcast with you, man. You do such an amazing job, and everybody can follow me on Instagram at Travis6_reporter, and my Twitter is Travis_reporter. Facebook is Travis Hicks, and on YouTube is Travis6_reporter. Starting to put weekly content out, and it's always a great time talking sports with Manny.
Of course, man. Well, I'm glad to have you. And, I'm going to just go ahead and show the one little comment that, another comment that we got here. Patrick Holmes is not Daniel Jones. Ain't nobody saying he's Daniel Jones, man.
Wait, who said that?
It was Zach J. Zach J said Pat Mahomes is not Daniel Jones. He's Kermit. Look.
I love that.
I get it, man. I'm just saying Daniel Jones is playing better. That's it. That's all I'm saying. And Pat Mahomes, he ain't look. They still got a lot to prove. I'm going to leave it at that. Other than that, man, look, we'll catch y'all later on this week, man. Sunday recording today, so it was a little weird for me. Threw me off, too. But, again, man, so glad you was able to jump on and kick it on the episode. For anybody listening, man, share this with a cousin, a brother, an uncle, niece, nephew. Also, follow us on Instagram at The Run Podcast, TikTok at The Run Podcast. YouTube, The Run with Manny Wilson. And then the positive note, the last little thing I'll leave here is just going to be, don't be afraid to take risks, man. Chances make champions. And I'm going to leave it at that. Interpret that however you want to, but chances make champions. Go ahead and take those risks, even though it might be scary on the other side. But sometimes the thing on the other side is what you might really enjoy and might be the best part of your life. So I'm going to leave it at that. Other than that, man, that's all we got. I'll be back later on this week. And so on and so on and so on.